Supporter Town Auto Group. Your community, your family, your town auto.
And we say good Tuesday morning to you. I am Dan Kuntz. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, 16th day of January. 2024 feels like January. We are at one big fat degree here in downtown Wenatchee, and we have already set a record low temperature for this date. 5 days in a row of this cold Arctic air, and now here comes the snow. We have a winter weather advisory. It begins at 7 o'clock tonight, which is about when the snow is going to start coming down. Goes until 7 o'clock tomorrow night, which is about when the snow is going to end. We'll give you the timeline of how much snow we are expecting and when it is expected to fall tonight, overnight, and most of the day on Wednesday. We'll have all of those details coming up. Mother Nature has definitely thrown us a curveball. I can't remember the last time we had these kinds of cold temperatures with no break. We've now had 5 consecutive days, as I've already mentioned, with our overnight low. Record-setting overnight lows, 5 days in a row. Could make it 6 tomorrow. We'll find out together. That all-important weather forecast is coming up, but this is the day. If you have some errands to run, things to do, and you don't want to run around on Wednesday with the snow on top of the snow, on top of the ice on their area roadways, do it today. Maybe a little bit of a run on the local grocery stores. We'll have news, a lot of news. We'll have sports, a lot of sports. Kraken's 9-game winning streak came to an end against Pittsburgh. They only got 22 shots on goal and a lot of substitutes. It's a long road trip. A lot of regular Wenatchee Wild, a lot of regular Seattle Kraken players didn't play yesterday. They need a break too. They got to play again today, as a matter of fact. And speaking of the Wenatchee Wild, Austin Andrade will be my guest. The Kamloops Blazers are in town for WHL hockey tonight at the Town Toyota Center. 2 minutes after the hour, here we go with our tour around the valley with the Wenatchee Heights camera chiming in. Boy, did we have a gorgeous sunset last night. Just beautiful. We don't normally get sunsets like that. Sunrises are normally spectacular, but normally not sunsets. Yesterday was the exception to that. Yesterday's overnight low, we were on the air when it happened, -2. That's a new record low. The old low was 3 degrees, set back in 1997. The record low for today was 6 degrees, also set back in 1997 on January 16th. We're already below that. We are at 1 degree. So we had record low temps on Friday, set a new record low on Saturday, set a new record low on Sunday, set a new record low on Monday, and we set a new record low for today. It's cold. Up to Cougar Ridge we go. Overlooking the Otabasha Bridge, a little out of focus, but you know, you can see what's going on. And again, there is more snow coming our way. Good morning to the old station area, Confluence State Park, and the mighty Wenatchee River. Billy Goat should look pretty good. There's Billy Goat. While I got Billy Goat up there, I'll check in. Omak, you're at 1 degree. The cold spot right now is Dryden at -2. Is there really a big difference between -2 and 1? I don't think so. Good morning to our friends up in Billy Goat. Hang in there, folks, and to the Rock Island camera. Beautiful view there. Good morning to Rock Island. Quick heads up, golf course is currently closed. Golf course, I'm told now, is closed there at Rock Island. Good morning to Rock Island and all places in Douglas County and a little bit of Malaga on the other side of the coin. Winter weather advisory kicks in at 7 o'clock tonight. We're going to have it easy compared to other locations. Spokane is going to get a lot of snow, but here are your total snow amounts for this next system that's coming in. Most of it is going to be relegated to the far eastern fourth of the state. As you can see, Spokane is going to get at least 8 inches, maybe 12. Not too much out of the Columbia Basin. We're looking at anywhere from 3 to 5 inches, so we averaged it out at 4 inches. The passes are going to get a lot of snow. We're talking almost 3 feet of snow on I-90, also a lot of snow on Stevens Pass. With that little blue area in the middle of your map, snow, I mean, everybody's going to get snow, but not as much out in the Columbia Basin. Again, here in the Wenatchee Valley, at least 3, as much as 5, maybe even possibly 6. This system has slowed down a little bit, but it's also packing a little bit more of a punch, so we're going to get more snow than they anticipated. Yeah, then here comes freezing rain. this weekend. It is a possibility, especially on Friday and Saturday. Best chance of freezing rain late Friday afternoon, just in time for your commute. The snow level is going to be hovering right around 1,300 feet above that snow. Below that freezing rain, it is a possibility on Friday night into Saturday, just on top of the snow, which is on top of the ice. And here's your timeline. When is the snow coming? Your timeline is in the upper right-hand corner of your screen, and you will see how the snow arrives. Basically, starting at about 7:30 or 8 o'clock tonight is when this system is expected to roll into the Wenatchee Valley. Do we have that video, Uriah? There we go. Here's your timeline from the National Weather Service. Starting later on today, as you can see, it's going to slide up, coming from the southwest, as you can see. So basically about 8 o'clock to midnight, some pretty heavy snow. Then it's going to taper off a little bit, and then more snow starting at about 7 a.m. tomorrow. At this time tomorrow, it will be snowing, and snowing at a pretty good clip, and it will snow till about 2 o'clock on Wednesday afternoon. So basically 8 o'clock to midnight, some significant snow, then it tapers off while you're sleeping, and then it picks right back up again just in time for the Wednesday morning commute. From the National Weather Service, 16 for our high today. We're going to have clear skies this morning, but as the system rolls in, the clouds will be thickening up, and then the snow. So overnight snow, 1 to 2 inches possible. As you can see, very little temperature variation. We're going to go from 16 for the high to 14 for the low. Snow Wednesday from the time the sun comes up until the time the sun goes down, with the heaviest snow tomorrow morning till about noon, and then lighter snow on Wednesday afternoon. When it's all said and done, 4, maybe even 5 inches of snow possible by the time this storm exits the region. Cloudy but fairly dry on Wednesday night, 17 for the overnight low. Thursday, a 50% chance of snow, but less than an inch, high of 25. Thursday night, another chance of snow, maybe an inch. On Thursday night, 23 for the overnight low. And then snow Friday morning, switching over to that rain, freezing rain mix as we gradually warm up. We'll finally be above freezing. Haven't had that in a long time by the time we get to Saturday. But again, a rain-snow mix is not ruled out. And then any kind of precipitation we get on Sunday and Monday will be in the form of rain. It'll be too warm to snow. In fact, even the overnight lows will be above freezing. So there is relief in sight from this Arctic air mass that has decided to pay us a visit. But here comes the snow. 4 or 5 inches of snow is expected by the time the sun goes down on Wednesday afternoon. All right, that is the weather. When we come back, we'll have the news. You're watching a Tuesday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Are you dealing with a pest or weed issue and you just don't know what to do?
We use the best pest control methods approved for areas with kids and pets.
Whether it's rats, mice, ants, or spiders,
or something else altogether.
We provide the coaching and solutions you're looking for.
And you can know that your dollars are supporting a local, family-owned and operated business.
Allow us to help you get back to living healthy and pest-free. Harvest Valley Pest Control.
Most of us are in touch with the internet in one way or another all day long. A fast, secure connection matters. It keeps us entertained, informed, and in touch. Localtel cares about your connection. We know strong, reliable internet with your choice of speed makes life better. If you need fast, reliable internet, or maybe an upgrade, or you just have questions, connect with us by visiting localtel.com or call 509-888-8888 today.
Check out ClubProCashmere.com for upcoming events and tickets.
One big fat degree here in the Wenatchee Valley. Will be in the mid-teens today. Snow tonight, overnight, most of the day on Wednesday, at least 3 inches, up to 5 inches just for the Wenatchee Valley expected by sunset on Wednesday. 10 minutes after the hour, no school today at Washington Elementary. They got a frozen pipe issue. So no school. They didn't have school yesterday because of the holiday. Now they don't have school today because the plumbing don't work. Also, YMCA's before and after school care also canceled today. Students and staff are being advised not to come to Washington Elementary School today. The Wenatchee School District announcing the closure in an email via Communications Director Diana Haglund. That came last night. In the release, Haglund said maintenance crews will be working to address the issue today. A status update, by the way, will be both on the district's and school's website by noon today. A jackknife semi-truck and trailer caused a real traffic headache yesterday afternoon on the east side of the Senator George Seller Bridge on Highway 28. It really slowed the commuter traffic near the Senator George Seller Bridge. The accident, as you see there, near the highway's intersection with 5th Street Northeast, happened at about 4 yesterday afternoon. Getting the truck back on the road required a big-time tow truck, as you might imagine, and that reduced the approach to the bridge down to just one lane of stop-and-go traffic. Authorities had the rig straightened out and down the road by about 4:30 yesterday afternoon. Most all of these small towns in Douglas County contract with the Douglas County Sheriff's Office for their law enforcement patrols within their jurisdiction, among them Waterville, Mansfield, and 3 other cities. They have contracts with the Douglas County Sheriff's Department for expanded police protection. But this year, Sheriff Kevin Morris of Douglas County proposed new contracts that have local mayors and local city councils pretty upset at the cost. Jefferson Robbins filed this report.
In 2022, the Douglas County Board of Commissioners made a request of Sheriff Kevin Morris. Find out if the county is recovering its cost for providing contracted law enforcement in small communities. The answer, the sheriff told NCW Life, was no. And as a result, towns that want police protection beyond a basic response to felony crimes, which is required by state law, will have to pay more, starting with contracts that are approved this year. As recently as 2023, Waterville, the Douglas County seat, paid about $102,000 a year for full police service. Mayor Lloyd Smith told NCW Life that this year, if Waterville accepts the new contract, that will increase to $123,000, then go up at a similar rate in 2025 and again in 2026. Waterville's town council has not approved Morris's proposed contract and is now operating under a 120-day grace period. The same is true in Bridgeport and Mansfield, which have also balked at higher prices for patrol services. Morris says he believes the new 5-year contracts are fair and phase in the increased pricing over multiple years, rather than piling on the full charge all at once. Each call for service cost the sheriff's office an average of $900 over the past 5 years, Morris said, and he arrived at the new charges for Douglas County towns by assessing $1 per call for service from each municipality. The new contracts also include a 3% automatic increase each year to account for inflation. Towns that don't adopt the new contracts, Morris said, can expect to see deputies in their communities less often, and no enforcement of things like municipal code violations. Smith, who's Waterville's newly elected mayor, says he's looking for other options, including a countywide law enforcement tax that would help all municipalities pay for sheriff's patrol services. Such a tax would have to be adopted by the county commissioners. Jefferson Robbins, NCW Life.
Thank you, Jefferson. You may have saw this yesterday morning on the south end of town. A camp trailer burst into flames on Chapman Road. That's in South Wenatchee. It was quickly brought under control despite a lack of water to the area. The Wenatchee Valley Fire Department was dispatched to the 100 block of Chapman Road at 9:22 yesterday morning for an unoccupied trailer that was fully involved. Of course, the temperatures were bitterly cold. There was no hydrant nearby, so firefighters had to rely on tanker trucks to douse the flames. And on Friday evening, one person was displaced not far from our studios. There was a house fire in the 500 block of Cascade Street. Fire Department spokeswoman Kay McKellar says that resident was not hurt, got shelter assistance from the Red Cross. Fire investigators are investigating the cause of both of those fires. The Confluence Health Clinic in East Wenatchee has had some closure issues lately. In fact, they were forced to close not once, but twice in the last week due to issues with the building. Early Monday morning, a pipe burst from the freezing temperatures outside. That forced the clinic to close temporarily. Water is back on, and the clinic has now reopened, but some pipes are still frozen, and that will require, obviously, some maintenance. And this comes not even a week after the facility closed last Tuesday to investigate an odor. The maintenance team found nothing of concern, but the clinic did remain closed for the rest of the day and reopened on Wednesday morning. 2 cases of salmonella in Chelan and Douglas counties are linked to charcuterie meats. That's according to the Chelan-Douglas Health District. Washington State currently has 4 cases in a multi-state salmonella outbreak, which includes 1 case in Chelan County and 1 in Douglas County. All 4 cases in Washington reported consuming some form of charcuterie prior to the illness, although none are related to the recalled Busetto charcuterie sampler that was linked to cases in other states. CDHD says the Washington State Department of Health officials are investigating additional charcuterie meat products. Contact your health care provider immediately if you exhibit symptoms of salmonella. That would be diarrhea, a fever higher than 102, and so much vomiting that you cannot keep liquids down, and also signs of dehydration. The annual Wenatchee Valley Chamber of Commerce Awards Banquet is coming up in March, and tickets are available right now as we speak. They have announced the nominees, by the way. Business of the Year nominees: Cascade Veterinary Clinic, Jones & Jones Betts Funeral Services, and Cordell Neer & Company. The nominees for Nonprofit of the Year: Teams Learning Center, the Women's Resource Center, and the Community Foundation of North Central Washington. The winners of those awards will be announced at the banquet. It'll be on March 14th at the Wenatchee Convention Center. Tickets are available by visiting the Chamber's website. And Wenatchee Valley leaders were recognized by the City of Wenatchee. The annual Uplift Awards were held at the Wenatchee Valley Museum and Cultural Center on Saturday. Individuals and organizations were honored. They made significant contributions to social justice efforts in 2023. 3 awards were given to the Indigenous Roots and Reparations Foundation. The Alethea Writing Center got an award. Congratulations to Nancy Greddy and the NCW Equity Alliance Board. The event is meant to correspond with Martin Luther King Jr. Day, as awardees work to protect civil rights and advance diversity, equality, and inclusion. In their speeches, the chair of the IRRF, Mary Big Bull Lewis, and Nancy Greddy and Oscar Lee Cohn said their thanks and spoke about what's next for the organizations that they serve.
This is really cool. Thank you. Thank you to everyone who nominated us and has supported us over the last 2 years. IRF has grown substantially, and this is just a dream that I had, to bring our Indigenous culture here and be proud of who we are, because a lot of times haven't felt that there was space for that. So just because there isn't space doesn't mean that there shouldn't be. And we've accomplished so much with our board of directors. In 2023, one of our big goals was to hire an executive director, and I'm so proud to announce that we do have one now. Her name is Twala Abramson, and she is enrolled with the Spokane tribe and a descendant of the Colville tribe. And this was her first week, and she's been traveling to Wenatchee, and then we were in Nespelem on Thursday, so she's getting right into it. But I just wanted to say, Lamb, thank you for your continued support, and we're really excited for what this year brings with our growth and partnerships. And yeah, thank you.
Thank you to whoever nominated me and Alethea, and for the beautiful words that they said about the organization and the work that we do. I'm so proud of what we've been able to accomplish the last 14 years, and very, very excited about the future. Some of you know that we're looking to move to a larger facility so we can expand services to provide opportunities to more people who have special needs, and more veterans who are struggling with civilian life adjustment issues. And then also we have a new program called our Barn Buddies, which is a community inclusion and life skills program for young adults with special needs. And it's been such a pleasure to see the growth among the people who participate in the program. And I also wanted to say thank you to some of the people who are here today and who they represent also. And that's an incredible staff that makes it possible to do the work that we do, a board of directors that guides and directs us and provides support and encouragement, and parents of people who are in the program, and the participants themselves. We couldn't do anything that we do without them. So I'm very honored and proud of the work that we've done together, and excited to see what we're going to do in the future. So thank you all very much.
As mentioned, I am the first executive director of this organization. Really proud of the work that has been done. Thank you for a supportive board. This work started back in 2020. And we've gone on this journey, and so that's what we like to call this. We're on this journey together. We want to really create a community that can thrive, and everyone belongs and everyone is included. So thank you all so much. We really appreciate this partnership and all the partners we worked with, and all the great events that are coming up, and keep an eye out for that as well. So just thank you so much, and I'm really proud of the work. Thank you, board.
And now you're in the loop on what the heck is going around here in the Wenatchee Valley and North Central Washington. If you want to be informed about what's going on, watch the news with Grant and Eric at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. That's on television, or as we like to say in the business, TV. 5, 6, and 10. It's also up and running on our Facebook page, our homepage, ncwlife.com, our YouTube page, and on our app. And if you haven't downloaded our app yet, by golly, you can do it right now. There's the QR code. Grab your camera and get busy with it. And if there's something out there that you think warrants our attention, something that's newsworthy, send us an email, news@ncwlife.com. Well, the Kraken's 9-game winning streak franchise record came to an end. They'll try again today. Sports is next. You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
When your heating or cooling system is giving you trouble, call the diagnostic doctor from Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning.
Here's the culprit right here.
All joking aside, when you call Dick's, you're calling 35 years of experience at customer service right here in the Wenatchee Valley. Dick's strongly believes in repairing before replacing, and they service all major brands of HVAC units.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
Snow piles up quickly. Remove it just as quickly with Kubota compact and utility tractors. Rated #1 at durability and owner experience, they're built to take on winter with front and rear mount snow blowers, blades, and rotary sweepers. Get select Kubota tractors for 0 down, 2.99% APR for up to 84 months, plus save up to $800 on qualifying snow attachments. See your local Kubota dealer today.
"24 minutes after the hour, Sidney Crosby scored twice. Unfortunately, he plays for the Pittsburgh Penguins and has been for 19 years. Seattle's franchise record 9-game winning streak comes to an end, 3-0. Pittsburgh over the Kraken. Tristan Jarry turned aside all 22 shots he faced. Pittsburgh hands Seattle its first loss of any kind since December 18th and their first loss in regulation since December 10th.
Marcus Pettersson coming out of his own zone. He'll launch it forward for Malkin. Ahead, Rusty's got a man. In front, O'Connor scores! Perfect passing Racing from Pittsburgh and an early strike in the second. It's 1-0.
The Kraken in the middle of the change, quick stretch pass by the Penguins. That's getting Malkin with a little one touch. And how about Brian Russ on the backhand, hangs on. The patience of Joe on the backhand.
Brian Russ is getting back to full strength. They score! Sidney Crosby fires it past the cord. Goal number 574 for Sid, 2-zip.
He's looking for goaltender interference, or if he thought the puck was high sticked. As the puck goes around the umbrella, eventually to Chris Letang, and Sid opened up for that one-timer.
Penguins in front 2-0. Raquel has the puck at center, pushes it forward. Crosby a chance, he seals it. Pittsburgh sports doubleheader has kicked off with a 2-point party on 5th Avenue as the Penguins snap the 9-game winning streak for the Seattle Kraken.
And no rest for the weary. Kraken right back at it this afternoon. They are in Madison Square Garden, the world's most famous arena, taking on the Rangers. It'll be at 4 o'clock this afternoon on Root Sports. All right, to the prep basketball scoreboard. From yesterday, it was a split between Orville and Bridgeport. The Orville girls knocking out the Bridgeport boys, but the Bridgeport boys beat the Orville boys. Davenport girls over Waterville Mansfield 59-43. Clean sweep for Wilson Creek. The girls over Cascade Christian Academy 30-24, and the boys over Cascade Christian Academy 75-54. Pretty light schedule, but a lot going on today in Caribou Trail League. It's Cascade at Quincy at 5:45 in girls basketball. Non-leaguer for Kashmir, they welcome the Cleellum into town at 5:45. Prosters at Ephrata at 5:30, and Ellensburg will try and keep their winning streak alive. They take on Grandview at 5:30. Also in girls basketball, Tonascus at Okanagan at 6, Lake Roosevelt at Brewster at 6. Also at 6 o'clock, Manson at Liberty Bell. Cascade Christian Academy will take on Waterville Mansfield, and Moses Lake Christian will be at Soap Lake. Boys, pretty much the same schedule, just an hour and a half later. Cascades at Quincy and Caribou Trail League action at 7:15. Non-leaguer between Clay Ellum and Kashmir boys. The Prosper boys will be at Ephrata, and Grandview will be at Ellensburg. And in the smaller schools, you got Tonasket at Okanagan at 7:30, Lake Roosevelt at Brewster, Manson's at Liberty Bell, Cascade Christian Academy at Waterville Mansfield, and Moses Lake Christian at Soap Lake. Prep bowling today, it's going to be busy at Eastmont Lanes. They got the Wildcats and the Panthers bowling at the same time. West Valley will take on Eastmont. Moses Lake will take on Wenatchee. They'll start rolling the strikes at 2 o'clock this afternoon at Eastmont Lanes. WHL hockey tonight, of course, the Wenatchee Wild welcome the Kamloops Blazers. Kamloops dead last in the WHL's Western Division. The Wild currently in 5th place. They'll drop the puck at 6 o'clock. We'll talk more Wild hockey with Austin Drade in the back half of the program. And they weren't the most entertaining of games, but the NFL playoffs, round 1 wrapped up yesterday. Tampa Bay creamed Philadelphia 39-9, and Buffalo, no real problems with the Steelers, 31-17. So we're set for the divisional playoffs next week. Starting on Saturday, it's Houston and Baltimore at 1:30 on ESPN and ABC, and that'll be followed by Green Bay at San Francisco at 5:15 Saturday afternoon on Fox. Sunday at noon, Tampa Bay at Detroit on NBC, and they wrap up the weekend with Kansas City traveling to Buffalo to take on the Bills at 3:30 on CBS. And those are just some of the games that people are playing. At 28 minutes after the hour, for the obscure holiday you can celebrate if you so desire. National Without a Scalpel Day, National Religious Freedom Day, National Fig Newton Day, National Be a Good Teenager Day, just like I was. International Hot and Spicy Food Day. I love hot and spicy food. Doesn't love me, but I eat it anyway. National Appreciate a Dragon Day today, but today is the non-holiday called simply Nothing Day. It's Nothing Day. A columnist for the San Francisco Examiner in the early 1970s said there's so many stupid holidays. How about we have a holiday that isn't a holiday? So today is National Nothing Day. Today. And think about this. 74% of the universe is made up of nothing. Think about it. It's the bottom of the hour. Today in history, we do Super Bowls this time of the year because it's Super Bowl time of the year. Super Bowl, which one? VI. Sometimes called Super Bowl VI. The Dallas Cowboys win their first of what would be 5 Super Bowls. They beat Miami. The final was 24-3 at Tulane Stadium. in New Orleans. This remains to this day the coldest outdoor Super Bowl ever played. It was 39 degrees at kickoff. Remember when the Seahawks took on the Broncos in New Jersey 10 years ago, they were worried that it was going to be bitterly cold. It was actually in the 40s when the game kicked off, but it was only 39 in New Orleans. Miami became the first team not to score a touchdown in the Super Bowl. In fact, that's only happened 3 times in the history of the Super Bowl. And this is the last Super Bowl, believe it or not to be televised in the city in which it was played. The NFL had unconditional blackout rules. Didn't matter. Whatever city any NFL game was played in, it was not on television. I know it's hard to believe now, whether the game was sold out or not. And of course, Super Bowl VI in New Orleans was sold out, but if you lived in New Orleans, you couldn't watch the game. They finally got rid of that stupid nonsense the next year. Super Bowl VI on this date, 1972. 44 years ago today, January 16th, 1980, Paul McCartney, his wife Linda, their 4 kids, and his band touched down at Tokyo International Airport to begin a 11-date tour of Japan. Paul had enough marijuana in his luggage that he probably could have dispatched with the plane altogether. He said, I forgot. Oh, geez, what happened here? He had half a pound of weed in his luggage, and they take this stuff very seriously in Japan. They still do. Paul spent 9 days in jail and then was deported back to England. The tour was canceled. Wings broke up. Paul, what were you thinking? He doesn't smoke pot anymore, by the way. And 33 years ago today, January 16th, 1991, the coalition forces, it wasn't just us, it was Kuwait, Great Britain was involved, France, Saudi Arabia, and Egypt. Well, we went after them. We went to war with Iraq. The Gulf War began on this date, January 16th, 1991. Spoiler alert, we won, kind of. You'll have to do your own homework on that. And let's do some birthdays. Frank Zamboni, guess what he invented? He got into the ice business, the ice block business in Southern California in Los Angeles, just a little too late. 1937, he and his brother got into business making the big ice blocks to put into your ice box. But by 1937, plug-in refrigerators and freezers were pretty much commonplace. And he said, well, we got all this ice-making equipment. What are we going to do? So they opened up an ice rink because they had all the equipment to make ice. Turned out to be very popular. But, of course, ice rinks back in those days, those tubes underneath the ice would cause ridges. People would trip and fall down. So he said, what can we do about this? And so he invented the machine that shaves the ice. Used to take about 90 minutes and a bunch of guys to do it. He invented the Zamboni, which took one guy and about 15 minutes. He died very wealthy in 1988 at the age of 87, Frank Zamboni. A.J. Foyt, 89 years old, legendary race car driver. He has a unique claim to fame. He is the only man in racing history to win the Daytona 500, the Indianapolis 500, which he won 4 times, the 24 Hours of Le Mans, and the 24 Hours of Daytona. The only person to win those 4 prestigious races. A.J. Foyt is 89 years old today. And Albert Pujols, who in 4 more years will go into the Hall of Fame, and I think unanimously, is 44 years old today. He has a claim to be the greatest first baseman in the history of baseball. Now, you know, I think Lou Gehrig still is, but he is second all-time in RBIs behind only Hank Aaron. He is second all-time in total bases behind only Hank Aaron. He was a 3-time MVP with the St. Louis Cardinals, won a couple of world championships. And check this out. He hit 703 career home runs, Albert Pujols did. Of his 703 career home runs, he hit them off 458 different pitchers. A remarkable achievement. Albert Pujols, enjoy your retirement, buddy. He's 44. He will be in Cooperstown in 4 years. He's a lead pipe cinch. 35 minutes after the hour. Thank you to Alpine Air for heat and air. Call Alpine Air. They are proud to be platinum sponsors here at the NCW Life Channel. So long as they don't watch this show, I think they'll stick around. Still to come, who's going to die first, Mike McNaughty or Keith Richards? An opinion from my Mad Dog McNaughty. You've never seen it because we've never aired it. And then it's time to talk wild hockey. They have a rare Tuesday night game tonight. Kamloops is in town. Austin Andrade will join me when we come back. You're watching the Tuesday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
Hey, welcome back to Save Mart. What can we help you find today?
We're looking for a mattress.
Oh, right this way. We got a large selection. We have this pillow top here.
Oh, comfortable.
We have more to choose from down here.
Oh.
I think I have the perfect one over here for you.
I guess we'll take this one.
You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
It's Walker's Furniture's 4-day holiday sale. Now's the best time to save on the largest selection of mattresses like Serta iComfort Eco and Beauty Rest Black Hybrid. Or say yes to no money down, no minimum purchase, and no interest financing for 5 years.
So you can get the mattress you've always wanted for less and sleep better in 2024. Today through this Monday at Walker's.
Hey, hon, would you run this around to the wash rack?
Oh, okay.
Hey, hon, what happened?
They shrunk the truck.
The all-new midsize Canyon is now available at Sangster Motors.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog McNaughty, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. So, I've got these pals from high school, the Rads, we call ourselves. Now, long explanation about the name, maybe another time, but we've been tight for well over 50 years, and we regularly get together for some sort of activity. Well, my buddy Bill suggested that for 2024, we go to the Rolling Stones concert in May at Lumen Field. Yeah, that's why I asked my wife, Rosie. I said, hey, would it be okay for me to go with the guys to the Stones concert? And she said, yeah. She said, better do it before you die, or before they die anyway. And then I thought, Keith Richards die? Why would anybody think that might happen? This is Mike Mad Dog McNaughty, and that's my opinion.
A ductless unit from Carrier can keep anyone comfortable. Take Shelly, for instance. She finds me time in her new attic-turned-home gym. And with her Carrier ductless unit, the temperature is always perfect. No matter how intense her workout gets. Carrier. Total comfort, totally happy.
Turn to the experts, Carrier and Alpine Air. Heat and air, call Alpine Air.
Since 1932, Camp Seneca, nestled on the beautiful shores of Lake Wenatchee, has provided children grades 1 through 12 with the ideal location for kids to learn new skills, have fun, and make friends while creating memories that will last a lifetime. Camp Seneca's rustic log cabins and their staff serve to provide each group a unique summer camp experience. Register for Camp Seneca today, www.campfirencw.org.
Global Car Care has the best customer service in the Valley. From the moment you walk in the door, their goal is to help you stay on the road, so you can keep doing what's important to you. Global Car Care certified ASE mechanics stand behind your automotive repairs.
It's Walker's Furniture's 4-day holiday clearance, where we offer some of our biggest savings of the year. On many items up to 70% off. Or receive 0% interest financing until 2029 with no down payment and no minimum purchase.
So you can get that new furniture you've been wanting at 4-day clearance prices. Today through this Monday at Walker's.
At Confluence Health, our mission is clear: to provide exceptional care for our community. We believe in healthcare that's personal and local because we're just like you, members of this great community.
We are Confluence.
Local care by and for our community.
Local care by and for our community.
Local care by and for our community.
We are Confluence.
Welcome back to the program. Normally it's Wednesdays when Austin Drade, the broadcasting voice of the Wenatchee Wild, pays us a visit. Things are a little different this week because if we did that, we wouldn't be talking about today's game, which is Kamloops coming to town. So we have a Tuesday game, Kamloops tonight, 6 o'clock at the Downtown Center. Then they got Spokane on a Saturday, and then they travel to Seattle, kind of. The Thunderbirds don't play in Seattle. That's another story altogether. It is the Thunderbirds and the Wenatchee Wild on Sunday to wrap up 3 games this week. And to join me for the first time ever, making his very first appearance on this program, it's good to see a star of the Austin Drade Show, Austin Drade. How are you?
Good, how are you?
What's up with this weather? He's from Iowa. You brought your weather with you, buddy.
Would have preferred otherwise, but...
Is there any particular super cold or snowy winter from your youth that stands out to you?
Actually, probably not so much from when I was a kid, but there were 2 winters that I really remember from a few years before I moved out here. One of them was we got snow basically every week until mid-April.
Jeez.
And then the other one was... well, that one doesn't stand out as much as the other one does. The fact that we were getting snow into the middle of April, we had high school golf teams that were starting their season with their conference meets. That one kind of stands out.
Yeah, it ain't going to work, is it? On to other things. On Sunday, the Wenatchee Wild hosted the Everett Silvertips. The less we talk about the Silvertips and the Wild from Sunday, the better. They just real quickly... we looked pretty good, and then the second period things just kind of got away.
Yeah, 3-1 lead early in the second period. The guys weren't getting as many shots as Everett was, but we were getting the face-offs, and the guys were rolling. Started taking a few penalties, maybe took the foot off the gas just a little bit. And Everett, I know they were on a little bit of a road trip. They were on the bus a lot last weekend, but the bus, when you're 18, 19, 20 years old, you're playing hockey every day. Those bus legs don't seem to get quite as much, and they endured through that game, and they had the strong finish against us.
Well, how much does this have to do with the roster turnover? As you know by now, there's been a significant roster turnover. This is not the same team that took to the ice back in November. So is there a lot of what's my role, kind of a feeling out process? Because there's a lot of new faces on this team.
I think for some guys, there's a little bit of a feeling out process as to what's my role right now on the team. We don't have that top end talent that we had with Connor Geekie and Matthew Savoy, but at the same time, I think there's a little more depth at the back end. We've got a little bit more on that third and probably the fourth line to fill in that latter part of the lineup. So maybe some nights we're not quite rolling all 3 or all 4 lines like we're hoping to, but I think we've got more potential to have some competitive nights from that third line, from that fourth line than maybe we did before. And of course, we got the draft picks to go with it.
When you're in a game that's a blowout on either side of it, either if Wenatchee is taking it to the opponent, or as what happened on Sunday, Everett kind of ran away with it, and we were kind of out of it with 7-8 minutes left. Is it just, you know, they talk about bringing in the JV or the backup? Do the third and fourth lines maybe get a little bit more time to, first of all, so the lines 1 and 2 don't get injured, and it also gives ice time for the third and fourth line if the game gets out of hand like that?
You'll see a little bit more ice time for the third and the fourth line. I've noticed that over the games that it's been a while since we played a one-goal game for Wenatchee. You'll notice a little bit more playing time for the third and the fourth lines, but even then, you've still got to give those guys a spell on the bench. So you'll see some first and second line time, maybe not quite as much as you did early in the game.
And it gives the chance for the players to impress the coaches. I mean, they're paying attention.
Coaches, they want to see the guys at the bottom of the lineup perform, and it's a chance for the guys to show what they can do. Maybe give the guys a spark late in the game, and give the coaching staff something to think about going into the next one.
When you're coming off a tough loss, as the Wild are against Everett on Sunday, you know what cures what ails you? You play Kamloops, because they are at the basement of the standings, or at the basement of the league. I think they've won 9 games this year, something like that? 9
games. They actually played in Portland on Monday, so they came into the week with 9 wins. It's been a little bit of a scuffle here this year for Kamloops. At the same time, they're competitive in getting shots on the net. It's just burying those chances that they've had some trouble with this year.
So do we scout Kamloops much? I mean, again, they have the worst record in the league, as I already mentioned, but their record reflects how good they are too. They're a 9-win team right now. Is it?
At the same time, you don't want to take anybody lightly. You don't want to look past anybody, especially at this time of the year when right now the battle is for home ice and in the Western Conference. There's a lot of hockey left to go. The home stretch is just starting after the roster freeze last Wednesday, but you don't want to look past anybody. You don't want to take anybody for granted right now.
Well, let's talk about the roster freeze. By freeze, that means that's it. We're set now. You can't make any you can't make any changes at all, or are there some exceptions, say injuries or stuff like that?
You might have some affiliate players come up from some of your younger teams that might play a few games. The 15-year-olds are limited to 5 games until their seasons end, and I believe the 16-year-olds are limited to 10 until their AAA seasons or their school seasons end. But you might see some of those guys come up. But as far as signing players to the organization or making a trade to bring in some new faces, right now that roster is frozen.
All the way through to the end of the year. Mm-hmm. All the way through to the end of the year. He mentioned playoffs. You know, wait a minute, isn't it just like the halfway mark? But it's not too early to think about it. First of all, we're going to make the playoffs. So whether we have home ice advantage or not is another story altogether. But playoff tickets are on sale now, right?
Playoff tickets went on sale on Monday, and 24-25 season tickets went on sale on Monday. Right now we're just doing the full playoff package, but what that means is you buy in full for the playoffs, however many games we play, whether it's 1, whether it's 16 at home, and anything that we don't play will roll over into the deposit for your season tickets for next year. So if you get the playoff package, you're getting the season tickets for next year. But that $50 deposit that we do for the season tickets, that rollover will take care of that.
There you go. So again, they could play just a few home games in the playoffs. They could play a bunch of whole games. Either way, you're locked in. Mm-hmm. We like that. So the roster is set. Again, we've lost some talent, but we're bringing in some guys who can play hockey, and the most important thing is this franchise now has a future as far as bringing in draft picks and bringing in young talent. Bliss had to think about not necessarily this year, but we're going to make as deep a run as possible. But the year after and even the year after that, right?
Absolutely. Bringing in 17 draft picks since July when we made our first moves with Gabe Ludwig and Lucas Sherbina back there over the summer. 4 of those are first-round picks. 2 of those are second-round picks over the next few years. So that's that right there is a significant bump. But then you start talking about third-round, fourth-round, your mid-round draft picks. And having 17 draft picks, I don't think we've quite recouped everything that Winnipeg traded away to make the runs that they did, but at the same time we're close, and we brought in some solid talent, some young talent that can help fill in for us while they're developing, and hopefully make a run at really turning those guys into some top-end talent too.
Kamloops tonight, and then on Saturday it is Spokane in town to wrap up a long homestand, and then they're on the road to Seattle. Let's talk about Spokane real quick. They've jumped us a little bit in the standings. Talk a little bit about Spokane.
They're starting to make a move in the standings. They're a younger group that really does well if they can get some open space through the neutral zone, really move into our end well. So we've got to bottle them up short of the blue line and try to force them to slow the game down a little bit. But they've got some really good top end talent. You look at Berkeley Catton, who's one of the top 10 North American skaters right now, looking ahead to the draft in the summer. Dawson Cowan has been excellent in net. He's one of the top 5 ranked goaltenders going into the draft. So it's a group with some high-end talent, maybe not quite the depth they're hoping to build, but that will come in time with their front office, and they're a group that we've got to shut down the top end if we want to win that game on Saturday night in front of what we're hoping will be a huge crowd.
Now, we talked about the Thunderbirds from Seattle last year. They went all the way, and then some. They won the cup for the WHL. This year, it has not been a good year for the Thunderbirds. They're not quite at Kamloops level, but they're towards the other half of the standings.
Not quite to the level that they want to be at, but they've been a pretty solid team at home. We've been down there a couple times, and we're still trying to get those wins down there. So we've got some work to do before that game on Sunday, and try to pick up a win on our only road trip of the month.
Yeah, they're probably getting sick and tired of the billet families, if that's at all possible. After we're halfway through the season, you've been on the road and at home quite a bit. Arenas around the WHL, I mean, we got a good one. Obviously, there's not a bad barn in the joint, but so you've been to some arenas now that the team is with the WHL that you probably haven't been in before. What are some of the hockey rinks that jump out at you? Fun places to call.
The ones that really jump out, Everett brings a good crowd most nights, and the view up there at the top of the second level in Everett is really, really good. The one that I really like, it's an older building in our part of the WHL, but the view is good. The press box has been the space up there is really good. Is actually Kelowna. One of the for press guys like me, I think is one of the better buildings in our part of the league. The one that we haven't gotten to yet still is Victoria. We'll get to that one at the end of March. Kind of looking forward to seeing what we get to work with there. And of course, we've got the road trip up to Alberta still left to go. Calgary and Edmonton, looking forward to those.
Excuse my ignorance, but I remember when the Wild were in the British Columbia Hockey League, as far as rink dimensions, they were kind of all over the place. There were some rinks up in Canada that were international as opposed to a more universal thing. Are all the rinks by bylaws have to be the same dimensions in the Western Hockey League?
I believe the bylaws, they're going to be a standard size. The goal for these guys is to get them ready for the NHL, get them ready for pro hockey, and most of the rules are built based on what the NHL and the pro rules are. So it stands to reason that the rink dimensions are going to be standard. Not in every building are the benches and the penalty boxes, everything going to be in the same place. We went up to Swift Current back in November. They've got one of the older barns in the league, so they've got penalty boxes and benches in some non-standard places. But most of the newer places you go to are going to have everything in the same place. It's going to be the same size. Everybody's got that curved glass around the benches where you used to have those padded turnbuckles.
Yep.
So that's all standard now. Everything is as close to NHL, as close to pro standard as they're able to get it, and there's a good reason for that.
Absolutely. Again, Kamloops in town tonight. Then they have the Spokane in town on Saturday. 6 o'clock for tonight and 6 o'clock on Saturday. 5:05 on Sunday if you want to drive over to Kent. Is it Kent?
It is Kent.
Yeah, you have to drive over to Kent to watch Seattle play. Don't ask. Anything else while I have you here, Austin?
Well, we got the big game on Saturday for Guns N' Hoses. That'll
yes.
be presented by Star Ranch Growers. Huge game. It was our sellout last year, so we're hoping to fill the place again. Coming up on Saturday, we'll do the youth hockey jersey giveaway at the beginning of the day. The firemen and police play at 4. We'll play against Spokane at 6. The jersey auction to benefit the Guns N' Hoses Foundation after the game, and the silent auction for a lot of the jerseys during the game as well. So a lot going on Saturday. We want to see the place full, and we want to get folks out and see a good game.
If you want to be really entertained, you got to watch the law enforcement take on the fire folks in hockey It's pretty cool. I think the last game I saw, I think the final was like 17-16 because they just, they're hoping not to fall down and get hurt.
It's a good game. It's not bad hockey. It's fun to watch.
It is fun, especially if you like goals. And I don't recall any fights between the...
Last year, I remember there wasn't.
Okay. Who knows this time around? Tickets, go to WenatcheeWildHockey.com, WenatcheeWild.com. It's right there. You got it done. And let's go 3-0, and I get to see you next week at the Town Tow Center, right? All right. Austin Drade, the broadcasting voice of the Wenatchee Wild. Listen to them. They love you. And he'll be singing "Oh Canada," by the way, tonight. And we'll be right back.
This is Grace, and this is her world record-holding guinea pig with an iconic name, Abby.
She currently holds the Guinness World Record for the highest bar jump by a guinea pig. I ride horses and I jump, so I kind of thought it'd be interesting to teach my guinea pig to jump like my horse does.
One day she came out of her room and looked at us, and I said, "Did you get it?" And she said, "Yeah, we got it."
After we won our award, we came to Abby's to celebrate.
The agents of Kennedy Real Estate Group are committed to providing the ideal client experience. We believe in the power of relationships. Why? Because we don't just work here, we live here. From the nonprofits we serve, the parks where we play, and the local businesses we support, our team understands the value of living in the Wenatchee Valley. Let's begin your real estate story.
Bring the whole family up to Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house in historic downtown Chelan. Applewood smoked brisket, street-style tacos, and our award-winning barbecue rubs and sauces. Our meals pair perfectly with our exciting lineup of craft ales, made right here in Chelan. We've got room for big groups, or give us a call for catering. So grab the kids and check out the fun at Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house located in the heart of Chelan.
The newest generation of GMC Sierra pickups offer the most advanced technology, the strongest selection of powertrain, and everything else you need to work hard, play hard, and explore the boundaries of the Wenatchee Valley and beyond. Take a look at the latest, most luxurious and durable trucks on the market.
You will see why GMC is not your grandfather's pickup.
You want to bet, kid?
And we are back at it. 1 big fat degree is what's registered on the old thermometer here in downtown Wenatchee. If you're just joining us, we set another record low temperature today. We got down, well, we're at 1 degree now. The record low for this state is 6 degrees. So we set a record low on Friday, record low Saturday, record low Sunday, record low yesterday, record low today. Big story, however, is the snow. It's coming, folks. It's going to come later on this afternoon, overnight tonight. We'll give you the timeline here in just a little bit, but look at where you live. We're thinking right around 4 inches as an average. They think we're going to get at least 3, as much as 5. So we're going to average it out to about 4 inches here in the Wenatchee Valley. As you can see, other locations, including the Cascades and the far eastern part of our state, is going to get a lot more than us. Followed by freezing rain. Yeah, it's a distinct possibility. Take a look again at where you live. Freezing rain is not a good thing. The upper atmosphere is warm. It follows as rain. It passes through the really cold air that we're dealing with, and it hits the ground as freezing rain. Not fun to drive around in. The timeline for the snow, something like this. Your timeline is in the upper right-hand corner. It looks like it's going to start snowing tonight at about 8 o'clock. And from 8 to about midnight, it's going to snow pretty good here in the Wenatchee Valley. Then it's going to taper off in the wee small hours of the morning. And then about 7 a.m. tomorrow morning, it's going to pick up in intensity and snow pretty good till about noon, and then continuing snowfall until about 2 or 3 in the afternoon. When it's all said and done, as we mentioned already, upwards of 5 inches of snow here for the Wenatchee Valley. 16. That's it but it's going to feel awfully warm because we only got to 11 yesterday. So 16 with increasing clouds. Again, snow late this afternoon, early evening, tapers off and picks up again on Wednesday. And we're looking at a high tomorrow of 21. A couple of inches of snow possible tonight, 3 inches of snow possible on Wednesday, so 5 inches all said and done. Next snow event, and it's really not much of a snow event, is probably going to be Thursday night and a Friday, and then we start dealing with that freezing rain that we talked about. As you can see, we're going to have a gradual warming trend, but the big story, we're going to have snow on top of the already existing snow, which is going to make tomorrow morning's commute not particularly fun. And that's it for us. Have a great Tuesday. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Eyes. To me, facing down, one of my biggest fears.
And then it's off to Pennsylvania for a twisted look at the birthplace of one of America's favorite snack foods.
Welcome to Small Town Big Deal.